Ladies and gentlemen, please don't rush the stage. I'll have to call security. Man, I love this little room. This is amazing. Hey, I like that shirt. Thanks for coming. See, the shirt proves that she's seen me before, and I'm always encouraged when somebody sees me and then they actually come back again to see me. It's always a good sign. Who's playing? Oh, A&M. That's right. That's a big game tonight. Yeah. And it's hunting season just started. I understand all of the challenges, and I appreciate y'all.
I'm not leaving.
It's a beautiful day today, and I get to drive out to your awesome little town here. The first time I played out here, I put a post up on Facebook, driving in, the first time I'd ever driven into Quitman, Texas, and I put up something that said, you know, if you were having one of those, you know, career crisis moments where you're, you know, like ask the Lord, am I supposed to be doing this? And then you show up at your gig and it's in Quitman, Texas. It might be problematic. But I was like, I'm not in that place, so I'm cool with it.
I'll tell you a funny story about our water tower over by the football field at Drake.
You got it. This song is not on any record of mine or anybody else's record. We wrote it years and years ago, probably 16 years ago. I'm betting it was 2007 or 8, 9, somewhere in there. And but I started a bunch of shows with it because, like I said, it's a beautiful day. I get to drive out here and play songs that I wrote in this amazing little place that more people should know about. And I have friends and new friends and old friends and people wearing my t-shirt. I mean, it's a pretty good day, y'all. It's called Hard to Beat today. Been watching them youngins lapping in a running pitch sprinkler. Prettiest girl I ever seen sitting here with my ring on her finger. Rocking in the breeze, sucking on a peach, nothing but a weekend on the way. I don't care what you say, gonna be hard to beat today. It's gonna be hard to beat that sun up there, the good Lord smiling down. It's gonna be hard to top this front porch view and to wrap my arms around. Who knows what tomorrow's gonna throw our way. Gonna be hard to beat today. Kids hear the music playing, got the quarters now they're chasing down some ice cream. Got my lawnmower fixed and my honeydew is behind me. Waiting at the neighbor's taking that latest said we had a sack full on the way. I don't care what you say, gonna be hard to beat today. It's gonna be hard to beat that sun up there and the Lord smiling down. It's gonna be hard to top this front porch view and to wrap my arms around. Who knows what tomorrow's gonna throw our way. Gonna be hard to beat today. The only thing that can make this day any better is if I can find a way to make it last forever. It's gonna be hard to beat that sun up there, the good Lord smiling down. Hard to top this front porch view and to wrap my arms around. Who knows what tomorrow's gonna throw our way. Gonna be hard to beat today. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to beat today. Hard to beat today. It's a good day in Quitman, Texas. Hard to beat today. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully that'll be on somebody famous's record someday. But I just, like I said, I love opening shows with it sometimes when I have time. And I have time tonight. I can play all sorts of songs I don't normally get to play. This song here was the first single off my new record. And Julie already brought this song up. It was interesting. She said, pulling up weeds. And then she goes, is that what it is? And I go, it's pulling weeds. But it's interesting that she said that because she reminded me that the day that Adam Wheeler threw that out in the writing room, he originally said, I got an idea called pulling up weeds. And we adjusted it to just pulling weeds like almost immediately, but I hadn't thought about that until Julie just said that tonight. The day we wrote this song, Adam was stuck in traffic in Nashville trying to get down to Music Row, and he was 45 minutes late. And so Ben Roberts and I, the three of us had the appointment that day. We just, waiting for Adam. It was a beautiful day. We stood out in the parking lot at the publishing house, just kind of catching up on life. And catching up on life that particular day meant that Ben was telling me about how he was just a few weeks out of rehab trying to save his family and save his life. And he told me the whole wild, crazy, heartbreaking, but beautiful story about how he ended up going to rehab, including the part where his parents pulled up about 30 seconds before he was going to make a permanent solution to a temporary problem sitting in his truck in his front driveway. And by the way, he's been clean and sober over 3 years now. Yeah, right? He's doing great. I mean, great. But he tells me this whole story. Adam finally gets here, and we really just walked straight into the publishing house and got straight to work. And so Adam had no idea what Ben and I had been talking about. And Adam said, I got this idea, call it. And I always adjust it because I forgot until you said it tonight. You said pulling up weeds. I always go, I got this idea called pulling weeds. And it's not all Ben's story, but Ben's story found its way in there. And then I know for me, I knew what the song was about the day we wrote it. But once it came out and I was playing it out all the time, I realized just how true this song is for me and probably for everybody in this room. I spend so much time and energy on things I should not spend my time and energy on, And so this song just really rings true for me. Talk radio talker on me. Says the world's gonna hell, think I'm done with him. Cell phone ringing in my kids' parking. Hold the side button down till I see the light fade. I'm pulling weeds, one at a time. Anything that chokes the light out of who I wanna be, gonna plant new seeds. A bird sings first, get my hands down in this dirt before the roots get too deep. I'm pulling weeds, getting mad about things that don't matter that much, carrying around that heavy old grudge. Worrying about what other people think. Yeah, it's all gotta go so my heart can breathe. I'm pulling weeds, attitude, anything that shows some light out of who I wanna be. Gonna plant new seeds. But first things first, get my hands down in this dirt before the roots get too deep. I'm gonna weeds. Goodbye fear, goodbye doubt, and things I can't do a thing about. Goodbye guilt, goodbye shame. It's time I make a little space to say hello to grass. I'm pulling weeds, one at a time. Anything that shows some light out of who I wanna be. Gonna plant new seeds. But first things first, get my hands down in this dirt before the roots get too deep. I'm gonna weeds. I'm gonna weeds. Pulling weeds. Yeah, that song, I guess it qualifies as my hit because it's had over 100,000 streams on Spotify,
Congratulations.
which is a lot for me, right? Now it made me $8. It almost paid for my Chipotle the other day at lunch,
Almost.
but I will take it. And Julie Crawford likes it, so those are really the big takeaways from that song.
She ain't the only one.
This song here I wrote with my friend Helene Cronin. We wrote it during COVID. It took us 4, 5, 6 months to write, I think, maybe a little longer. We had this idea. We had 2 different titles for it. People was one of them, and then People Are Complicated was the other. And when we started out on this song, we intended to have a little more pessimistic view of humanity. Again, we wrote it during COVID and the world was on fire. But a funny thing happened along the way of writing this song. By the time we got done with it, it celebrated humanity and all of our mess. And I remember singing through it the first time after we got it done, just sitting there at the house, learning how to sing it and play it and get comfortable with it. And, tearing up because it celebrated us. Fragile as a dandelion weed, strong as skyscraper steel, scraped up from the dust of the earth, shaped like clay on the potter's wheel. We got roots that go back generations and dreams that stretch for miles, and you can see them all in great-granddaddy's Polaroid gap to smile. With storytelling and ocean crossings, belly laughers, baby makers, and moonwalkers. So many kinds of different, so many ways the same. We love, we hate, we complicate, put all our crazy on parade. Such a mess, but so beautiful. People, always wanting more than what we got, but scared to let go of what we have. All running down a road that won't make sense, try to change the world before the world spins round again. With storytellers and ocean crossings, belly laughers, baby makers, and moonwalkers. So many kinds of different, so many ways to sing. We love, we hate, we complicate, but all our crazy on parade. Such a mess, but so beautiful. People, we're shower singers, love letter writers, barefoot dancers, kitchen kissers, and drum dialers. So many kinds of different, so many ways to sing. We love, we hate, we complicate, but all our crazy on parade. Such a mess, but so beautiful. Yeah, we're a mess, but ain't we beautiful people? People. I like that.
That fairy sign just doubles the amount of people up here.
I know, I opened my eyes and there's all sorts of people here. Thanks for coming out.
So what'd you settle on? People or complicated?
People. Yeah, we did. So it was cool just to see the journey. You know, songs have a life of their own if you get out of the way and let them. It's one of the things that this group hired me to come down and talk to a bunch of young kids a few weeks ago about songwriting. And kids from 12 years old to about, I think the oldest was 16, maybe there's a 17, but I think it's 12 to 16, and they're just starting and stuff. And so I talked to them for a total of about 6.5 hours over 2 days. And I told them though, near the beginning, I said, what I'm talking to you about today and tomorrow is, it's all the thinking part of writing songs. It's the craft part. I said, but there's a magic part that nobody can teach you. And you also need to remember never to forget the magic part. And like that song right there, we intended for it to go this way. But the song, we got out of the way, and the song wanted to go over here. And we let it. And it's way better because we let it. And that was the magic part, right? So, I'm not always good at that. I've failed at that many times and thought about something too much. You won't hear any of those songs tonight.
Never fight the song.
No. One of the things I love about playing in my home state of Texas, I was born and raised here. Born in Waco, got out of there as quick as we could. I was raised in Kerrville, Texas. Moved to the Dallas area when I was 16-ish. Been in North Texas ever since. But one of the things I love about playing in my home state is that when I ask this question, people actually know who I'm talking about. Are there any Radney Foster fans in the house? And see, growing up in Texas, I assumed the whole world knew who Radney Foster was. And then I started touring all over the country, and I'm telling y'all, if I'm not in the state of Texas, I ask that question, and it's crickets. I mean, as close as Louisiana, but especially Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Carolina, Ohio, Illinois, whatever. They're like, who? So this song is on my new album, and I just put out the acoustic version of it a couple weeks ago, and It was the first song I ever wrote with Mr. Radney Foster, which is wild to even be saying that sentence because he's just, I'm from Texas, so he's one of my favorite songwriters that's ever, I've ever heard. And when I first started going to Nashville, I flew most of the time then. I drive all the time now. And when I first started going though, because he plays here so much and he lives in Nashville, he was on 3 or 4 of those flights that I was on, Southwest Airlines flights. And I'd be like, man, that's Radney Foster over there. And one time I had the nerve to say hello. Hey, Mr. Foster, my name's Scott Sean. And he was super gracious and nice, but that was it, right? Well, a few years back, I went to a songwriting retreat in Lake Martin, Alabama. And I met a fellow named Eric Erdman. Anybody know who Eric Erdman is? You should look him up. He's a brilliant songwriter and guitar player and human. And I met him there, and he's really good friends with Radney. I did not know that when I met him. A couple days into the writing retreat, he and Chad Wilson, another buddy of ours, are sitting on the couch like that over there. And they go, hey man, come here. Listen to this thing that we started with Radney Foster. See if you want to help us finish it. That's a weird thing to hear at a random writing retreat, right? And so I'm like, huh? And I go over and I go, did you say Radney Foster? Like Radney? Yeah. I was like, and so my immediate reaction was, do you think Radney would be okay with you just bringing in some strange dude you met at a writing retreat to help on a song? And Eric, very confidently, just goes, oh yeah. And I thought to myself, well, who the hell is Eric Erdman? And how does he know Radney that well? But, so they played me what they had. It was on the phone. It was a little work tape of a verse and a chorus. And the verse wasn't even complete. It was pieces of this and that in the air there. And there's some mumbling. And then the chorus had no words, but they had a melody. And it was Radney Foster singing. You can't miss that voice. So I was like, well, this is definitely Radney Foster. And so I said yes, of course, thinking, this ain't gonna happen. That's ridiculous. It was 2 or 3 weeks later, we were on a Zoom call, and we finished the song. Right? How wild is that? And not only that, we finished it, I loved it, I put it on my record, and then I was like, Radney, is there any chance you would sing harmony on it? And he's like, yeah, just send it over. Go figure, what? So kids, dreams do come true. And also, that's the story about meeting Radney. The song was born 1.5 years before I met Radney. Eric and Radney were at Radney's house in Nashville working on, writing other stuff. They took a lunch break. We're sitting in Radney's kitchen having lunch, and one of Radney's kids was around the corner in the living room watching TV as news on about a riot or a fight or something. And the kid comes into the kitchen to Radney and says, Dad, I don't even know what it's like to ball up my fist to hit somebody. And Radney, with his big old heart, teared up and said, I hope you never do. Cut a couple corners, no one will know but you. Let your dear buzz tell you, cold cocky cousin, when you're feeling silver bulletproof. Sell that guitar when it gets hard, cause you're too scared to lose. But I hope you never do. You can drown in the bottom of the Kentucky bottle instead of asking for help. Skip the I'm sorry's and blame everybody instead of owning it yourself. Slam down the phone, I'm the only one with the stones to tell you the truth. But I hope you never do. Sometimes you make choices for you, sometimes they make you. Walk that road in my old boots, go what I've been through, but I hope you never do. You cannot buy the flowers, try to get by without them. Act like it's no big deal. Keep your mouth shut cause you think it ain't tough. Tell her how you really feel. And you can lose a girl that saved your life cause your pride's got something to prove, but I hope you never do. Sometimes you make choices, boy, but sometimes they make you. You can walk that road in my own boots, go through what I've been through, but I hope you never do. I hope you never do. You can waste your life mad all the time. Now what you think this world owes you? And sometimes you make choices, boy, and sometimes they make you. You can walk that road in my old boots, go through the hell that I've been through, but I hope you never do. I hope you never do. This song here is on my first album, and then after that, I put that record out. My distributor told me that I needed to be putting content out every 4 or 5 weeks to Spotify, which is crazy because I thought, well, there's no way in hell I can record a new song every 4 or 5 weeks and put it out. But I came up with a plan. I thought, well, I can just strip all 11 songs down on the first album to nothing but the acoustic guitar and the vocals, or the piano and the vocals, and I can put out acoustic versions. And so that's what I did. And then when I got done putting all 11 songs out, I put the whole album out as call it even the acoustics plus the stories, because I put all 11 stories that go with the 11 songs on that record. And the story to this song, and that CD is sitting over there as well. The story is by far the shortest story on that record. Because it's real easy. This is how I see the whole Jesus thing. It's called Famous. Imagine you're back in the wild, wild west. You're standing in the gallows, a rope around your neck. You'll be hanging for something, there ain't no doubt you did. When a man out in the crowd says, take me instead. And you don't know why, but they let him. Why did they let him? Wouldn't you tell everyone about that guy and what he did that day? Wouldn't you spend every minute, the rest of your life, making his name famous? Now imagine you're walking down some old dirt road. A few days later, your heart's just broke. You'd give anything, yeah, anything, to see him one more time, just to thank him. Then you look up, and he's by your side. And he's walking and talking and breathing. Wouldn't you tell everyone about that guy and what he did that day? Wouldn't you spend every minute, the rest of your life, making his name famous? Famous. If something like that ever happened to me, I'd follow that man wherever he leads. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you tell everyone about that guy and what he did that day? Wouldn't you spend every minute, the rest of your life, making his name famous? I appreciate you so much. And I burped right in the middle of the last name on that song. It was my Whataburger chicken salad. At least it was the last chorus and you already knew what word went there. This next song, I was sitting on my porch in Poetry, Texas. Yes, I live in a town called Poetry, Texas, over there in North Otero. It's probably about 8 years ago, and I was sitting on the porch, probably watching some game. I'm a huge sports fan. I was not trying to write a song, but I had my guitar in my hand. I was just practicing, banging on it while I watched some game. And this line popped in my head out of the blue. It said, "They got married by Elvis in a drive-through chapel in Vegas." And that's what I was like, giggled. I was like, what the hell is that? And but that couple sounded cool to me. And so I wanted to get to know what their story was. So I started running down that road. I had no idea what the title of the song was yet. But I started running down the road, kind of got their beginning of their story figured out. And then I took it to a buddy of mine in Nashville named Jared Hard. And we spent 2 different days working on it, got it done. And when I started playing this song out, the first time I was playing it out in public, I was sitting there singing it. I thought to myself, well, this is crazy. We totally made this song up, and yet at the same time, it is totally true about my wife and I. And so I'm going to tell you the real story, and then I'm going to sing you the made-up story. This young lady over here is already wearing the shirt that she got last time I was here. Thank you very much. And yes, it is. The shirt is on the wall. But yeah, here's the deal. Back in 1989, this pretty young lady named Brenda walked into a car dealership in Dallas and to buy a car, and back then I sold cars. So I sold her a Toyota Tercel. I like to say I sold her a car and a family for $314 a month. She just didn't read the fine print. I gave her my card and I asked her to call me, and to my surprise she did. And so our first date was a lunch date. It was Grandy's Fried Chicken at White Rock Lake. And that went good, right? Everybody remember Grandy's and White Rock? So that went good, so we went out some more and more. It was going really good. We went out some more. Matter of fact, it was going so good, y'all. We did this thing you're not really supposed to do. It's objectively not wise. It's not a good way to start. We got pregnant while we were dating. I did not laugh when she told me that. That wasn't my reaction.
Wait, who didn't read the fine print?
Who didn't read the fine print? That's a good one. I love love that. I'm gonna have to work that into my story. Man. I love it.
5%, please.
Right. Okay. And but once we found that out, we were both determined to give that baby the best chance he could have at having two parents, because we know what a big deal that is in this world, right? So we got to the business of getting to know each other. I mean, really getting to know each other. And a few months later, on Valentine's Day of 1990, I knew that I loved her for her. So I asked her to marry me at the dinner table in front of Mom, because I knew she wouldn't say no in front of Mom. Yeah, it's the only way I could get a girl like that, y'all. Let's trap her. And about 5 weeks later, we had that baby. And about 5 months after that, we got married at the Justice of the Peace in Garland, Texas. And when we got to the part where we put the rings on each other's fingers, we hadn't had them sized yet. We were young. I don't even know if we knew to get them sized, to be honest with you. So they were way too big, like hula hoop too big. We put them on each other's hands. And as soon as we put our hands down either side, of course, they fell off and bounced all over the tile floor in the courthouse like two little jingle bells. And I remember the Justice of the Peace is standing right here, and I kind of reluctantly look over at him, and he's shaking his head just a little bit, rolling his eyes just a little bit. I know he's thinking, man, these poor kids ain't got a chance in hell. And I ain't mad at him. I would have thought the same thing. But August 10th, just a few months ago, was our 34th wedding. By the grace of God and the grace of my wife. And the reason I have permission from my bride to tell that story on a microphone all over the country is because my favorite part of that story is that God didn't look at us and say, you didn't start the way I told you to, so good luck, you're on your own, I'm out. He didn't do that. And he doesn't do that. And I'm 56 years old, sitting here on this beautiful little stage playing songs for y'all tonight. And I'm still not sure I can wrap my head around exactly how all that works, but I sure am glad it does. So if you started out some kind of way that all your friends and family, hell, maybe yourself, you thought you were crazy. Crazy's only crazy till it works. They got married by Elvis in a drive-thru chapel in Vegas. They knew it was crazy. Thought, yeah, what if we make it? How cool it'd be to tell the children and the grandchildren there was 1,000,001 shot and we were the 1 in 1,000,000. She sold waffles and eggs, hot coffee and smiles at the diner. He sold Subarus and Hondas and one-liners. He was a loser, but thank God she was a finder. He was a mister all day, she was a lover all nighter. Dreams can still be dreams until you wake up. And fights are only fights until you make up. And brave is only brave if there's a chance he's gonna hurt. And crazy's only crazy till it works. He gave 2,500 to a roughneck in Laredo for a flat-nosed fixer-upper Winnebago. He sold everything except his Martin and her daddy's mandolin. He said, trust me, baby, whatever comes, we can handle it. And dreams can still be dreams after you wake up. And fights are only fights until you make it. And brave is only brave if there's a chance it's gonna hurt. And crazy's only crazy till it works. Yeah, crazy's only crazy till 50 years go by and you look back and realize that all along it's wild, wild ride. All the wrong turns turned out right. And dreams can still be dreams after you wake up. And fights are only fights until you make up. Brave is only brave, but there's a chance he's gonna lose. And crazy's only crazy till it works. Yeah, crazy's only crazy till it works. They got married by Elvis in a drive-thru chopping in Vegas. They knew it was crazy.
So does Cody know that you didn't give him your good one?
Well, you know, that's one of the things about, you know, writing songs for other people is other people like different things than you do. We've had a few weeks since all the Cody stuff has been going on. It's been going on for about 3 years. We'll have a week or two a year where I call it Kojo Week. Jesse Robb comes to town and we basically spend the week trying to write songs aimed at Cody. And the last time we did that, we wrote 9 songs that week. And then we wrote Over Missing You like a week or two later. And so there were 10 songs that Cody heard. There were 3 other songs that we thought, oh, Cody's gonna love this. And he's just like, you know. And then, so you just never know when you're writing for other people, especially when you're particularly like aiming at them, you really don't know what they're gonna like and what they're not. So that's a great question. Now Cody did have this song on hold for the Human album. He heard my friend and one of my co-writers, Barrett Baber, play it at the listening room in Nashville, and he walked up to both of us and was like, "Don't play that song for anybody else for 6 months," and just loved it. And then he didn't record it. And then somebody recently, one of my fans that turned into a dear friend of mine, said they saw Cody at something down in South Texas somewhere, and they brought up this song to him. They said, "Oh man, don't you love that song?" And he said, "Oh man, I love that song." He says, and then he says, "That song needs to be recorded by somebody bigger than me, though." What? No, it does not. Anyway, and that's exactly what my friend said to him. So this song, my friend Barrett Baber was on The Voice about 10 years ago. And anybody watch The Voice at all? A little bit? He was the dude, he was a big old boy from Arkansas. You may remember his story because it's quite the story. And you know, that's a TV show, so you can't just be a great singer, you have to have a story. And his story was that he survived an American Airlines plane crash in Little Rock in 1999. You remember that guy at all?
Yeah.
Big dude, about 6'7". And singing as human, wanted to sing as humans on the planet. So he did real well. He got 3rd on Team Blake. He's from Arkansas. So as he says, he got Arkansas famous, blew up, was doing these big shows there. And there's a Saturday night about 9 years ago, he had a show in Marion, Arkansas, which is not too far from where he grew up in West Memphis, Arkansas. Played the show. Sunday morning, they get on the bus, they head back to Nashville. And as they're leaving town, they come around this corner and they see this church steeple off in the distance. And Barrett tells his tour manager who was driving the bus, he goes, "That's the church where my dad was a preacher for 15 years when I was growing up." And he said, "You know, the only thing that was in that church more than me in that 15 years being a preacher's kid is that old piano that's in there." And he said, "Man, if they ever sell that thing, I'm going to buy it." And, well, as the good Lord would have it, he had a writing appointment the very next morning, Monday morning, with me and Terry Joe Box. And he walked into the room and he told us the story I just told you. And he said, "Man, I sure would like to write a song about that piano. You know, I used to sneak in there to play it and sing. And I'd like to write a song about all the things it's played for, funerals and baptisms and weddings." And he had a title, Piano for Sale. Piano for sale, best offer, printed underneath the weekly prayer list. This one first time back in this church in forever. But I'll take it no matter how much that is. It's just a beat of the bright old band, made of maple and brown sugar pine. But there's pieces of me in those ivory keys, and every song has ever changed my life. 'Cause it played Yes, Jesus Loves Me when I learned I could sing. And just as I am on the day I believed, oh, here comes a bride when she walked down the me. It is well with my soul when we let mama go. Piano for sale. So I never told anybody about all those nights when I'd sneak in and play honky-tonk songs, or all my wild guys and empty church confessions. So roll it up, I'm taking it all home. 'Cause it played Yes, Jesus Loves Me when I didn't feel loved. And just as I am when I wasn't good enough, oh, here comes a bride, the best day of my life. It is well with my soul when we let mama go. Piano for sale. It is well with my soul. Oh, and sing me back home. Piano for sale. So it was the first and last time I ever said the N-word. I had heard some kid on the playground call one of my friends that, and I didn't know what it was. So on the way home, we were on Ranchero Road in Kerrville South. It could probably take you to the spot where this happened. On the way home, I asked him, I said, "Daddy, what's a boop?" And he grabbed my arm as hard as he could, and he jerked the car over the side of the road and just skidded through a stop on the gravel, and proceeded to give me a 2 or 3 minute speech about, I don't care what the color of a man's skin is, a man is a man, and you don't ever say that word. And like I said, just lit into me in the best way possible. And the problem with the memory popping in my head in my early 20s, though, was that was the same dude that I'd seen hit my mom a lot growing up. And so when I remembered he did something good for me, not something just a little good, he did something really good for me at a really young age. To be honest with you, it pissed me off. Because I just wanted to hate that guy. You know, I wanted it to be real easy, real cut and dry, real black and white. Just hate him the rest of my life. I wanted that guy to be all bad. And in that moment, when that memory popped in my head, I realized he wasn't all bad. And it was a big deal at that moment in life. And I was about the same age I started reconciling, or trying to reconcile the childhood. You probably imagine comes with all that. It was around the same age that I started to figure out, man, people are a lot more complicated than I thought they were, including me. And I didn't write this song till I was 40 years old. And I couldn't have written it when I was 20 or 25, 30, 35. It took me a long time to get here to see things this way. And it's the title track to the first album because every word of it is true. My daddy hit my mama on more than one occasion, but he also saved my ass a time or two. To this day I ain't quite sure if I love him or hate him. Through these tinted windows it's hard to see true. Of all the things he said to me, what he never said hurt worse. But not everything he said led me the wrong way. Like the time I heard that boy at school call my friend the N-word. When I asked my daddy what that meant, he slammed on his brakes, pulled right over, said, "Son, hear me good now. Don't you ever let that word come out your mouth." Go figure. Some people run with the devil and walk with Jesus, and they're rebels. They are your heroes, and at their worst, they are your demons. I guess in the end, you have to call it even. My mama hit the bottle till the bottle hit her back. That was the only fight she ever lost. Man, I wish you could have known her from back before all that. You'd have seen the southern angel who carried my cross. She was the only thing between me and hell. And all the while she was drowning herself. Some people run with the devil and walk with Jesus, and they're their worst, they are your demons. I guess in the end, you have to call it even. I know I ain't my mama, and I damn sure ain't my daddy. But then again, maybe there's something in my voice, something in my choices, something in my walk, my talk, my way. I just don't know, but God, I hope now. And God, I hope so. 'Cause at their best, they were my heroes, and at their worst, they are my demons. I guess in the end, I have to call it even. And call it even. My daddy hit my mama on more than one occasion, but he also saved my ass a time or two. But this frog in the back of my throat keeps popping up every now and then. Trying to make sure you don't miss any important words.
You need water too.
I did eat Whataburger. It's just that burp at one time. That song right there will probably never get recorded by somebody in Nashville. It's such a personal story, although there are a bunch of folks that have similar stories. But I will tell you that, you know, that songs don't just have to, I mean, that song was given to me to heal me and help me and teach me things that I didn't know before I wrote the song. And that's the biggest thing. But on the business of being a songwriter in Nashville, it wasn't completely ineffective. That song is responsible for getting me in the room with probably a couple of handfuls of Hall of Fame songwriters in Nashville who simply heard that song and said, I want to write with that guy.
That's how I found you.
So the moral of the story, if there are any songwriters here, is write the truth and just let the rest of this mess figure itself out. This song here I wrote with the same people I wrote Piano for Sale with. Matter of fact, Piano for Sale was the first song the three of us wrote, Barrett Baber, Terry Joe Box, and I. And this was the second song. It is by far the best first two songs I've ever written with any combination of people. And I've written over 900 songs. And we were at Barrett's house to write that day in Franklin, Tennessee. And Terry Joe and I had driven down there and we were waiting in his studio basement because he was upstairs getting his then 2 or 3-year-old daughter ready for daycare. And as he tells the story, she was just giving him hell. And he was having to try to explain to her why she couldn't wear high heels to daycare. Little pink plastic Barbie doll high heels. And she was just giving it to him. And he said, at some point, I just looked up at the heavens and went, God bless the boy you decide to love. And then his little light went off in his head. And he said, ooh, I'm about to write a country song. Hold on. Got her off the daycare, came down the stairs, and as he came down the stairs, he said, hey, why don't we write a song called God Bless the Boy about my daughter? And I was totally down for that because we have 2 daughters ourselves. Ours are a little further down the road. Ours are 34 and 31. His is 9 or 10 now. Terry Jo Bach, she is a daddy's girl, so she was all about it. So we wrote this song that day. It's mostly about Barrett's daughter, but it definitely has some of our 2 daughters in there. It's got some of our 2 son-in-laws in there. It's also definitely got some of my wife and I's prayers in there. I don't know how it is with boys, but with 2 girls, when they got to junior high and high school, we started praying really hard for them to find a good man. And they both did. Both those young men so far have been outstanding, which is cool for me because I wasn't made for prison. And I don't know why you're laughing. My oldest, right? My oldest son-in-law loves to tell the story about the first time we met. The first words I ever said to him. He's standing in my kitchen. He's a big old boy, in my height, and he had just got done playing Division I basketball, so he's an athlete, big dude. And he's standing in my kitchen. I go, "You're a big old boy." He goes, "Yes, sir." I mean, this is the first time we ever met. Then there's about 10 seconds of awkward silences. I'm literally just looking him up and down. And then I go, if you break my daughter's heart, I'm going to have to hire somebody to kill you. True story. And because all the other boys our girls had brought home, I was like, I choked them with my bare hands. I got this. But him, I was just realistic. He's half my age and big dude. I was like, I'm going to lose that fight. I'm either going to need a weapon or some help or both. So all that figured into the song one way or the other, even if it was just the spirit of it. And then Mr. Cody Johnson heard this song on his bus in Nacogdoches, Texas in January 2020. And he has 2 daughters, and it made him cry. And it was my first major label cut. He put it on his Human album. And it was my first major label cut, 16, 17 years, and been chasing that Nashville songwriter thing. And it's been out in the world about 3.5 years now. I think my favorite part the journey of this song so far is all the big, bearded, tattooed, burly dudes that come up to me after a show and go, "I am daughters," and that song makes me cry every time. I'm like, yes, that's my job. She won't let me help her tie her shoes. No, daddy, I can do it myself. When she don't get her way, she'll cross her arms and hold it there. She's a handful, she's a mess, digging in the dirt in her princess dress. Throw some tiny tornado sleeping on my chest. God bless the boy that melts the way I do. When she smiles at him the first time every time, yeah, he'll get through. Give him patience and kindness in a heart that's full of love, and the sense to know what she's worth. 'Cause ain't nobody ever gonna be good enough. So God bless the boy she decides to love. Hope his daddy's teaching tonight to shake my hand and look me in the eye. Taking him fishing and busting his butt, he ain't acting right. Hope he's in every prayer his mama says. Must have worked for every dollar he gets, and has a sense of humor, gonna need it for a girl like this. God bless the boy that melts the way I do. When she smiles at him the first time every time, yeah, he'll be through. Give him patience and kindness and a heart that's full of love, and the sense to know what she's worth. 'Cause ain't nobody ever gonna be good enough. So God bless the boy she decides to love. God bless the boy that melts the way I do. When she smiles at him the first time, he'll be done, yeah, he'll be through. There ain't nobody ever gonna be good enough. So God bless the boy she decides to love. God bless the boy she decides to love. I had a work week in Nashville. Let's see, end of the year last year, and on Friday I had a gig in Mobile, Alabama. So I drove straight down I-65 from Nashville to Mobile that day. I stopped in northern Alabama for lunch. I don't know what town, but I know it was at Captain D's, and it was straight lunchtime. It was about 12:30. They were swamped, and the kitchen was crashing. So there was a very kind of tense group of folks in the lobby waiting for their food. And but there was a young lady behind the counter. They don't have waiters at Captain D's, but there was a young lady behind the counter doing the best she could to make the best of a bad situation. And she was taking people their plates when they were ready and refilling their drinks and their sauces and all that stuff. And she had some pretty serious special needs condition going on. And she had a really bad limp. And she also had a beautiful Alabama accent as thick as you could possibly lay it on. And she was just doing great in a situation that would have been difficult for a normal functioning person. And so when I got done eating 20, 25 minutes later, I was walking out and she was walking right in front of me. So I tapped her on the shoulder. I said, "Excuse me, miss, excuse me." And she turned around, she said, "Yes, sir." And I said, I just want to tell you, you're doing a great job today. You've been a blessing to everybody that walks in that door. And she goes, "Oh, thank you, sir. I also accept tips." And I said, "Excuse me?" Not because I didn't hear, I heard it just fine. I had to make sure I heard what I thought I heard. And I said, "Excuse me, what did you say?" And she turned that accent and the neck up to 11. She said, "I said I also accept tips." And everybody in earshot just died laughing. And I said, "Well, if you're bold enough to ask, here's $5. That story has nothing to do with this song. I just like telling the story. This song is from my first album. I wrote it with my friend Helene Cronin, and this is the house she grew up in. Maybe you grew up in the same house. It's called Dad's Garage or Mama's Kitchen. One bare light bulb hanging from the rafters, the smell of motor oil, sawdust and sweat, hot rod engines, hammers and wrenches, old spare parts, the spare time well spent. But it's 6 o'clock and not a minute after, and supper's ready, call, come through the back door, scream. Baby's crying, the sizzle of something frying, and Grandma's chiming if we had some company. From Dad's garage to Mama's kitchen, might have been just a couple steps apart. You couldn't find two worlds more different than that short walk across the yard. But between carburetors and casseroles, broken hearts and fishing poles, there was always something needed fixing. In Dad's garage, in Mama's kitchen, just an old pine workbench, an old oak dinner table, where we talk pickup, spot roast, politics, and Jesus. Most of our problems back then we could solve them with some grit, a little grace, and a lot of grace. From Dad's garage to Mama's kitchen, might have been just a couple steps apart. You couldn't find two worlds more different than that short walk across the yard. But between carburetors and casseroles, broken hearts and fishing poles, it was always something needed fixing. In Dad's garage and Mama's kitchen, between carburetors and casseroles, broken hearts and fishing poles, it was always something needed fixing. There was always someone there to listen, to pass the 5 eggs and pass the chicken. In Dad's garage, in Mama's kitchen, we were super excited that we got the word 5/8 in a song. Little victories as songwriters, like, that worked. I'm gonna play you right now at least one of what I call my day job songs. I spend 2 weeks a month in Nashville because I write for a music publisher up there. Somebody is crazy enough or gracious enough to pay me to write songs, and I have a great publisher. He gets what I do, and but also too my job really is to try to write songs that maybe somebody famous on country radio could record, right? And I just kind of let whatever happens in the room happen. Like if the idea that lights everybody up in the room that day in Nashville is a big song, like these songs I've been playing for you so far, that has some meat on the bone and some real life in it and some emotion in it, great. That's obviously who I'm at my core, and that's obviously what I love the most. But also too, if the idea that lights up the room that day sounds like maybe Kenny Chesney should record it, and we all go, that's really cool. Again, I let the song kind of dictate what we're going to do that day, right? So this song, all these other songs have some big life story behind them so far. This one here, my buddy Adam Wheeler said, I got this idea, and it's called Long Time No See, but C is spelled S-E-A. Right? Even a non-songwriter is like, oh, hold on. That sounds like something. So yes, I'm very happy to tell you we wrote this song for Kenny Chesney. He does not know that yet, but we wrote this song for Kenny Chesney. Oh, bless my heart. Can't put my finger on it, baby. Something's been feeling off lately. Do you feel it too? It's me right out of the blue. Maybe what's driving you and me both a little crazy is no beach, no sand, no salty breeze, margaritas in our hands. No water, no waves, no spinning all day in the sun. Getting well done. I think I know what's going on. What's wrong with you and me? Long time no see. Sounds like my house is paid off to me. I like it fine here in Tennessee. Got everything a country boy could ever need. Mountains and trees, rivers and creeks. Only reason sometimes I just gotta up and leave is no beach, no sand, no salty breeze, margaritas in our hands. No water, no waves, no spinning all day in the sun. Wouldn't that be fun? I think I know what's going on. What's wrong with you and me? Long time no see, no see. Get your Ray-Bans and your Carpatone. We'll book a room when we hit the road. In a few hours it's gonna be. Hey beach, hey sand, hey salty breeze, margaritas in our hands. Hey water, hey waves, hey spinning all day in the sun. Getting well done. Hey crystal clear blue sky. Long time no see, no see. That was fun to write that day. Somebody the other day too said Zach Brown could do that. That was a good idea.
Yeah.
If Jimmy Buffett was still alive, dang it. This song here is on my newest album, along with Pulling Weeds and People that I played earlier. I wrote this with my friend Eric Erdman, and rooms like this that have songwriters in them, and when I play festivals and things like that, this song is always so perfect for these rooms and those kinds of things because, I don't know how often you have songwriters in here, but it's fairly often. And none of them sound the same, do they? And yet, and so we go to festivals, especially at festivals, you'll sit there for days and see all these people that sound completely different, have a different way of expressing themselves. And all that Eric and I were talking about, it just comes from, all we have to work with really is 12 notes on a scale here in 26 letters in the English alphabet. So you'd think there's a limit to how many different ways you can put that together, but apparently there is not. Again, there is some magic involved. So we wrote this song about writing songs. It's just a pawn shop rescue with rusty strings. Barely stays in tune, but man, it sings. It's just a blank sheet of paper waiting on ink, and a line in your head you got from some wake-up dream. But with just 12 notes and 26 letters, depending on how you put them all together, you make somebody dance, make somebody smile, take their mind up a line for a little while. Start a revolution that'll change your world. And if you get it right, you can get the girl. Turn 3 minutes into something that'll last forever. Which is 12 notes and 26 letters. When you think about everything Bob Dylan ever said, and one Lennon McCartney did to your heart and your head. Ain't it crazy how right now there's some talent show kid about to say it in a way nobody else can. Which is 12 notes and 26 letters, depending on how you put them all together. You make somebody dance, make somebody smile, take their mind up a line for a little while. Start a revolution that'll change your world. And if you get it right, you can get the girl. Turn 3 minutes into something that'll last forever. Which is 12 notes and 26 letters. Which is 12 notes and 26 letters, depending on how you put them all together. Can make somebody dance, make somebody smile, take their mind up a line for a little while. Start a revolution that'll change your world. And if you get it right, you'll get the girl. Turn 3 minutes into something that'll last forever. Which is 12 notes and 26 letters. 12 notes and 26 days.